In this video, we will be hosting a static website in Google Cloud using HTTPS HTTP with Cloud DNS as our DNS service. Cloud DNS is the DNS service provided by Google Cloud. Before hosting a static website in Google Cloud, we need to have few prerequisites in place. The first one is static website files. These are the code files which we are going to upload in our cloud account. These can either be HTML files, CSS files or JavaScript files. The second is the domain. This is the place where the user request will come, that is www.something.com, where something.com is your domain. Third is Google Cloud account. This is the place where the actual hosting will take place. Now before we host the website in cloud, let's go through each of these prerequisites to understand what we are going to use in this demonstration and some brief information about each of these. The static website which we are going to host in Google Cloud in this demonstration is going to be a single page HTML file, that is index.html here. I have created this as a sample with basic HTML. So if I just click on it and show how the page looks like, so this is just a basic HTML page in which only two lines are coming up. One is home page and this is a static page. Okay. I also have a 404 page. This is for providing a page for inaccessible files in case a user try to access a URL which does not exist. So if I also show this, so this is how my 404 page looks like. Okay, so these are the two pages I have for my static website which I am going to host in Google Cloud. These are just sample pages for demonstration. If you have an Angular framework or Vue framework static website, then you can also use that with the same steps. Okay. Now to host this in Google Cloud, we need a domain. Domain is an alphanumeric alias which end user uses to access the website, like www.google.com, where google.com is the domain. If you already don't have a domain, what you need to do is you need to buy one. To buy a domain, simply go to your browser and type buy domain. And this will give you a lot of options where you can buy a domain. Now what these options are, these options what you see on screen are just different companies which are known as domain registrars. These are those businesses which handles the reservation of these domain names with an assigned individual or a business. They are accredited by the respective registries and they have the authority to sell these domains. So if you want to go ahead with the most popular one, you can go ahead with GoDaddy, or if you want to buy a domain from Google, you can also buy it via Google Domains. So Google also provide a service where you can buy these domains directly from Google. Irrespective of which domain registrar we use, the process of buying the domain is same. We go to the website to the respective registrar, we search for a domain, the registrar will tell us whether that domain is available or not, and if that is available, we can go ahead and buy the same. So for example, if I go to GoDaddy and I search for a domain, let's say example.com, then it is telling me that this domain is already taken. So I may try 7890. Yeah, and if the domain is available, it will give me a message that the domain is available for purchase. We can add it to our cart and we can purchase the same, make the payment, and then this domain will be assigned to us. In my case, I already have one domain available which I have purchased earlier, and I am going to use the same for this demonstration. So let's go ahead and check that domain. So the domain I already have available with me is clouddemotesting.in. This is the domain I am going to use to host the static website. I have purchased this domain by GoDaddy. Whenever we purchase a domain by any domain registrar, in this case which is GoDaddy, then we get a set of default DNS records. These are the default record types such as A record type, CNAME, name server, SOA. We also get default name servers which are provided by our DNS provider with which we have purchased the domain. These name server record entries contains the information of the name servers which is associated with our domain. Name server tells us that which DNS server is being used and which DNS server is authorized to handle the domain. This is where the actual website traffic is routed when anyone goes over the internet and visit the website, and from there it is routed further to the respective servers and pages which are hosted on the website. Since in this demonstration we are going to use Cloud DNS as a DNS service, I will keep my DNS provider as GoDaddy only. That is, my domain will still be registered with GoDaddy, but I will not be using the DNS management or the DNS service of GoDaddy. So I will be migrating from these as we start setting up the static website with Cloud DNS. So we don't need to further discuss or understand these because we are not going to use it. Now let's go ahead and look at our last prerequisite, that is Google Cloud account. To set up a Google Cloud account, what we basically need is a Gmail ID. So if you don't already have one, you can do a Gmail account sign up. Once we have a Gmail account, what we need to do is we need to log into that and go to console.cloud.google.com. This will open the Google Cloud account for the first time for us if you are logging in for the first time to this URL. Okay. It will ask to select the country and accept the terms of service. Click on that. Now this is the home page of Google Cloud account. As we can see on the top left corner, okay, here, Google is providing a free trial worth $300 to explore its products. To practice this demonstration, we need to activate this free trial so that we can use the respective services and set up our website. So what we need to do is, we need to go on the right hand side where we have an activate button. We need to click on that and activate our free trial. When we click on this button, it will ask us for a credit card information and some details so that it can authenticate us. It will not charge us for anything. It is a simple process to authenticate that this is a valid user who is going to use the trial. So let's go ahead and do that. Once we have activated the trial by entering the credit card information and other information, this screen will come up, okay, where we just need to select some options and click on done. So we can do this. So with this, our free trial is activated and we are good to go to use our Google Cloud account. Now one thing to note here is that everything which we are going to do in cloud is connected to a particular project, okay, which is shown here. Now if I click on this, I can see that Google Cloud has created one project for me when I have activated my free trial. This is called My First Project. If I want to create a specific one with a specific name, and if I want to create multiple projects, we can do that with new project click. Right now in this demonstration, we don't need it. So we'll go ahead and cancel the same. So with this, we have set up all the prerequisites which we need for hosting our static website in Google Cloud with Cloud DNS. Now for hosting the website, we need to perform a series of steps in our Google Cloud account. The first step is verify the domain ownership. Back to Google Cloud account. So the first thing which we are going to do is we are going to verify the ownership of our domain. That is, I am going to tell Google that I am an authorized user of this domain. Okay. So for that, go to search and type domain verification. click on add domain, and here we will type our domain name, root domain, and add domain. Take me there. We will select our domain registrar. So in my case that is GoDaddy. Click on verify. So the domain verification is completed. Let's go to property verification, and I can see that Google has added a property where it has authenticated that this domain belongs to me. If I go back and check my domain manager, I can see that a TXT record has been added with Google site verification. Okay. So with this, now Google knows that I am an authorized user of this domain. So what I need to do is I need to add this entry one more time. Click on add domain. So now this becomes an allowed domain for which I can host a website in Google Cloud. Okay. Now the next step is to set up the static website content in our cloud storage bucket. Now we are going to set up a storage bucket. Okay. So for that, go to the menu again and look for cloud storage. Click on browser. Click on create bucket. The bucket name we will be providing will be the domain name. So go back here and put the domain name. Now as soon as we put a domain name as a bucket name, Google is giving us an information message that we can only do that when we are a verified author of this domain. Since we have already verified that this domain belongs to us, we can ignore this message. Click on continue, select the region as per yours, and just proceed with default settings. Now what we need to do is, our bucket is created, we need to upload our static website files here. So if you have a big website with multiple subfolders hierarchy, then you can go with upload folder option. In my case, I have a single HTML page, so I will go ahead with upload files. And I am going to select index.html. And then I am going to select 404.html. So both of my files are now available here in my bucket. Now the next thing to do here is to set up website configuration. Why do we need to do that? So that we can set up the page suffix for main and error page settings of the website. So when a user go ahead over internet and navigates to our website, it will know which main page to show when the domain is hit, and it will know if they visit any invalid URL, which page to show. So for that, let's go to Cloud Shell and type a command gsutil web set, because we are setting the configuration, and we will provide a parameter -m. This parameter tells the main page suffix, that is, which is the main page to visit when your domain is visited. Okay, so that will be index.html in this case. Then the second parameter will be error page, and that will be 404.html. Then we will provide the bucket path. So click on authorize. So the website configuration is now set. We can also validate what configurations has been set by using one more command, that is web get, and provide the bucket path. So we can see here that my main page suffix is set up to index.html and my not found page is set up to 404.html. Note that I have performed these steps by Cloud Shell. But if you are working in an environment where Cloud Shell has been disabled for any privacy or security reasons, then you can run these commands via Cloud SDK as well. Next, what we need to do here is we need to make this bucket content accessible over internet to all users. So if we go back to our main bucket folder and we check its access, we can see that this bucket is not public. The reason is that when we create a bucket by default settings in Google Cloud, when we are not specifying that we want this bucket to be publicly accessible, by default it will keep it private. So to make it accessible over internet, what we need to do is we need to add few permissions. So for that, go on the right hand side, click on this and click on edit bucket permissions. First, we need to remove this prevention. So click on remove public access prevention. Click on confirm. Okay, now we are allowed to add public access. So to add public access, click on add member and add a member all users. That is, anyone over internet can access this. Now after we select the user, we need to provide a role to that user. Okay. For cloud storage, we can see two options here. One is cloud storage legacy and one is cloud storage. This is the old one and this is the current one. In both of these, we have a viewer role. So this is storage object viewer and this is storage legacy object reader. Okay. So we can select any of these. The only difference between the two is when you select a legacy role, it does not provide an access to the end user to list your website content. And when you select object viewer, that person can list the contents as well. So for now, let's go ahead with object reader and click on save. Click allow public access. Okay. So now this is public to internet, hide info panel. And if I verify here as well, this has now changed to public to internet. So with this, we have set up our static website in GCS bucket. Now the next step is to migrate the DNS management to Cloud DNS. Now to migrate our DNS management to Cloud DNS, let's go to Cloud DNS API service. So we will find that in network services. Pin this, click on Cloud DNS. Enable the API. So the API is now enabled. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create a zone for our domain. Click on create zone. In this we get two zone types. Since in this case we want to host a website which will be publicly accessible over internet, we will go ahead and select the public zone type. Zone name can be any preferred name. So I can keep it as Cloud Testing DNS Zone. DNS name will be my domain name. So my domain name is this. I will put it here. Now we have an option of DNS security on, off or transfer. So this is an option with which we can provide additional DNS security. Okay. Now for our website setup, I will keep it as off because we are not going to need it much for our static website. But in additional tips in the end of the video, I will show if we turn this on, what additional steps we need to do for this to be effective. Okay. Let's go ahead and create the zone. So our DNS zone has been created in Cloud DNS and it by default has created two DNS records for us. One is the SOA record, the authentication one, and one is the name server records. Okay. Now before we go ahead and migrate our name servers to these name server entries, let's do one more thing. Let's see where the domain is right now pointing so that we can validate after migrating the name servers that they have migrated to new name server records. So for that we can run a simple command, dig short name server and our domain. So if I run this command at this moment, when I have not migrated my name server, I can see this is pointing to these name servers, which is these name servers provided by GoDaddy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change these. So click on this and lower this. We are going to add all the 4 entries. Click on save. It will ask for an additional consent. Click on yes and continue. So now our name servers are being shifted. It's in the shifting process. Now ideally, as per the documentations, the time it takes for a name server to be migrated is equivalent to the time to live. That is in this case 600 seconds, that is 10 minutes. In my personal experience, I have seen the migration happening sometimes in 15 minutes as well, and sometimes it has taken an hour as well, depending upon different factors. So if you don't see the results after some time, that is if you don't see your domain name pointing to the new name servers after a specified period of time, then maybe it would be good to wait for an hour or so. Now if I go ahead and refresh this page, I will see that I can no longer see the DNS records in my GoDaddy page because we have migrated our name server. So my DNS management is no longer managed by GoDaddy. Okay. So now let's go back to our cloud DNS and wait for some time for the migration to be completed. Now let's validate if our domain is now pointing to our cloud DNS name server records. So for that, we will again go back to Cloud Shell and we will run the same command which we ran previously. So dig short ns and our domain. Now when we run this, we are getting our Google Cloud name servers. So with this, our name servers are now migrated. Okay, and our domain is pointing to the new NS record entries. Now the next step is to set up a HTTPS load balancer with SSL certificates and point the domain DNS to the same. To set up HTTPS load balancer, go to the menu and in network services, click on load balancing. Click on create load balancer. Select the HTTPS load balancing and start configuration. In these two options, I am going to select the first because my website has to be accessible over internet. Give a generic name. So I will give cloud demo testing HTTPS load balancer. Now in backend configurations, select the bucket which we have created and create a backend bucket in it. So click on create a backend bucket. We can give backend bucket name. Select the bucket which we just created and click on create. We can also enable cloud CDN if required. So that will provide a static cache content when the users are trying to access the website. But we don't need much for a static website, so we will leave it unchecked for now. Click on create. Click on OK. Go to host and path rules. Leave this as by default simple host and path rule. Go to next front-end configuration. In this, select protocol as HTTPS. In IP version, we can either select IPv4 or IPv6. We will go ahead with IPv4 for now. Now in IP address, click on this and click on create an IP address so that we can get a static IP address. So my web static IP address, okay, and click on reserve. This will reserve the IP address for us. So now we have got a static IP address. Port will be 443. Now coming to certificates. When we click on here, we are going to create a new certificate. In this, let's provide a generic name, my web certificate. Now we have two options. I can upload my own certificate or I can use a Google managed certificate. We will go ahead with Google managed certificate. Here I need to provide the domains for which this certificate needs to work. Okay. So I am going to provide my root domain and I am going to provide a subdomain, that is www.clouddemotesting.in. Why I am providing this? Because a user can access my website like this as well, and a user can access my website with the www subdomain as well. So click on create. So the certificate is now created. Click on OK. Now in SSL policy, we have GCP default or we can create a new policy. When we select GCP default, this will give the maximum exposure. In case you don't want that, you can go ahead and create a policy which works with a specific TLS or the latest TLS 2.0 and stuff. Click on done. So our front end is now set up, and click on review and finalize and click on create. So this is now creating a HTTPS load balancer for us. So the load balancer is now created. Click on this and we will see that it has provided an IP address to us, okay, which is reserved for our load balancer. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to point my domain to this load balancer IP address. For that I need to create new record entries in my Cloud DNS to point my root and subdomain to this IP address. So how to do that is, let's open one more console window. Go to Cloud DNS. And click on add record set. Okay. So for our main root domain, we will add an A record type with this IP address. Click on create. So now my main root domain is pointing to my load balancer IP address. Now I also need to point my subdomain. So click on this and create a CNAME entry for my subdomain and point this to my root domain. Click on create. So with this, we will be able to access the website with subdomain and with root domain both. Okay. Now let's go back to load balancer. Click on my web certificates and I can see that my certificate status is provisioning. So we mentioned these two domain names when we were specifying our SSL certificates testing, and these are the two entries which we have created in our DNS records. Okay. So now Google is going to take some time to provision this SSL certificates for us. As per documentation, this can take up to max 90 minutes. I have seen this happening in different time periods. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes, sometimes it takes 20 minutes, depend upon the traffic behind. So let's wait for a few minutes and come back to the screen. Once we see the status as green for both the domains, we can go ahead and access our website. As we can see, the certificate status is active. for my root and my subdomain both. Okay. So now if I go ahead and visit my website with HTTPS, so if I open a new window and I put this and I enter HTTPS in front of it, I will see the web page I was trying to host. So my static website is now hosted on my domain with HTTPS. I also see a log sign which is basically telling me that this connection is secure. We see this because we have set up this via HTTPS. Now if I visit the same with my subdomain, I will get the same page again because we have pointed our subdomain to our root domain. Now if I try to access any invalid URL, abcd.html, I will get my 404 page telling that this page I am trying to access does not exist. So with this we have set up our website using HTTPS and Cloud DNS successfully. Now we need to do one more thing, that is we need to make the same site accessible via HTTP as well. So the last step is that we are going to route the HTTP traffic to HTTPS load balancer so that we can access the same website via HTTP as well. So if I try to access this website right now with HTTP, it will not work because we have not set up the HTTP properties for it. So what we are going to do is, we are going to go back to our load balancer. And we are going to create one more route forwarding load balancer. Okay. So select this again, continue, enter the name as HTTP to HTTPS load balancing, leave backend configuration as it is, go to host and path rule, select advanced and select redirect the client to different host path. In this, select prefix redirect and enable the HTTPS redirect. Click on done. Then come to front end configuration. This time we are going to select HTTP rather than HTTPS and we will keep the port as 80. In IP address, we are going to select the IP address of our load balancer, the one to which our main domain is pointing and the one which we created in our load balancer IP address. Click on done. Click on review and finalize and click on create. So the HTTP to HTTPS LB is now created. Click on this and we can see that it is routing to same IP address to which our domain is pointing, which is in turn the HTTPS load balancer IP. Now let's wait for 5 minutes for change to take effect. So now if I go ahead and try to access the website via HTTP, I will get the same results because my HTTP traffic is now routed to HTTPS. How I can validate it? If I go to URL, I can see that I typed HTTP and I am getting the URL of HTTPS. I can validate the same for my root domain as well. So HTTP clouddemotesting.in. So I get the same result and my traffic is routed to HTTPS. I can also validate a 404 page, abcd.html, and I get the routed traffic to HTTPS with my invalid page link. Okay. So now my site is accessible via HTTP and HTTPS both. Before we conclude this tutorial, let's talk about additional setting of DNS security. So when we set up our DNS zone for this particular tutorial, we went ahead with keeping DNS security as off. But we have an option to keep it as on. So if I go on edit, I can enable this option and I can turn this on. But when I turn this on, it will not start directly working as it is. Just turning this on here in Google Cloud settings does not enable this completely. So what we need to do is, So after we turn this on and save, we need to go back to our domain manager and we need to go to our DNS security settings. In this, we will need to add a DNS security record here. For these settings which we need to enter for this record to be enabled, we will find those settings after we click on save here. So if I click save here right now and I go to registrar setup, this is my domain security record and I can see different settings which are required to set up. So I will need to add these settings in my domain provider settings. So copy this to key tag. Let's close this. Then the next thing I need is algorithm. So algorithm is 8. So we will select 8 from here. Then digest type, that is SHA 256, that is 2. So we'll select 2 here and then the digest. So we will select this here and click on update. Now this particular update takes 48 hours to get properly reflected. Okay. So this is how we set up DNS security in case we want to set up for our particular domain.